Welcome to Naked Spirituality, a video blog series of Sacred Attention Therapy and the Center for Human Awakening. My name is Rob Meager. For more information about Sacred Attention Therapy, the Center for Human Awakening, and our video blog series, please visit our website at www.centerforhumanawakening.com. And center is spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. These video blogs support one of the Center's core activities, which is collaboration and partnership with individuals, communities, and healing centers practicing personal growth and spiritual development. And our guest today is Danyele DeWolf, and we'll be talking with Danyele about her healing work through evolutionary coaching. And I would now like to invite Danyele to come on screen. There you are. Nice to meet you, Danyele.
Lovely to talk with you today, Rob.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
The heading on your website, and we'll make sure before we finish our sharing today, you can provide the URL to your website for those listening and watching. But the heading on the website reads Evolutionary Coaching.
Yes.
What is evolutionary coaching, and what is evolutionary about the coaching that you do?
The ironic part of evolutionary is that it's taking it forward thinking coaching, but really using ancient knowledge and wisdom. So this title came to me as a guided title through spirit. It started back with my initial searching for what it was within me that I was experiencing, and my divine sense of knowing, and what was that. And the title came to me, well, it's evolutionary. So I applied that title to my coaching.
I'm reminded in how you explained that of we go forward by actually returning or going back to that sense of self, that divinity within us. What was it, if I may ask, that sparked that search, that inquiry to what do I call this coaching that I'm going to do? What was it for you that inspired that?
Yes, this is really a beautiful story for me. So as a child, I was having quite the esoteric experience that I found no one around me was really talking about or having the same experiences. So I was seeing spirit, I was talking to spirit, I was hearing spirit, and I didn't know what that was, because in our society we don't necessarily talk about that. We may label it as it's a religion, or it's maybe we'll label it as a mental illness, or so I kind of felt like, oh, what is this? And throw on some traumatic experience and some trauma, and I just tuned that out. So I started to kind of go down a path that was really inauthentic in my core self, and it entailed deep, severe depression and not being able to express this divinity that surrounded and embodied me. I didn't know what it was. So take this story back now to about 9 years ago, and I'm sitting in my car off a beaten path on a dirt road, and I'm praying to a God who, I say God because in my mind at that time I still had this vision of God was a man on a cloud with a white beard, and I'm about to commit suicide. I have 5 bottles of full prescription drugs with me, and I'm making my peace in my mind, and I'm asking for forgiveness, and I'm saying, to the God on the cloud, you know my heart, and you know that you believe this is the best action that I can now take it will be doing everyone a favor. If you have an angel, you'd send this angel now, because this is going down right now, today. And in that moment, someone that I had known in the past, who was kind of a hermit and just, on his own, knocked on my car window. And I thought, no. At first, that was my reaction. No. How dare he? How dare someone knock on my window and stop this process? And what emerged from this was many things. But number one, a new frame of mind. If I was going to live another day, I had to make a choice. And that choice was going to be a commitment to life. And number two, I had to, for me to continue this life choice, I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to know the God on an intimate, deep, embodied soul level. What was this? Show me. That's the only thing that I could come up with in my mind for me to want to continue living. And what a beautiful process this has taken me to, and so unexpected. I had no idea that this unfolding, which still continues to unfold and present itself, was actually so beautiful and so present in each breath that we take. And it was all right here and right here. It was never external. That's where I had been searching. External, fix me, doctors, fix me, God, fix me. It was always here and in my external world. And so I kind of took that on as my journey to really know that deep inner truth, that beautiful ancient wisdom that presents itself now and evolves itself and emerges through me.
Mm-hmm. Just one of the very poignant and profound things you shared was in that moment when you were ready to check out. And it reminded me of the wisdom saying how nothing is accomplished in death. We can only accomplish anything through life. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful reminder of that wisdom saying.
And it was almost, to me as well, I almost had to die in my current state of being to truly live.
Yes.
And I think Rumi has a better quote saying with that, but I don't remember the exact quote. And that's kind of what I experienced, was a death of all my old beliefs, of all my old knowing, to truly live as I was.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's Rumi, it may be, but this saying goes something like, it's only through our death that can we learn to live.
Right. And hopefully we don't all have to get to that low point to experience that. Right. I'm pretty intense, so I took myself there, but it's a beautiful unfolding when we really start to see our true, authentic selves emerging in this beautiful life that is.
Mm. Now, in talking about what now this offers through you in working with the divine souls who come to you, there's 3 words that appear on the homepage of your website that intrigued me as part of evolutionary coaching. And those 3 words are vision, balance, and transform. Vision, balance, and transform. And I wanted to ask Danyele, what's the significance of these 3 words in the context of your work?
The vision comes from being able to take a look at ourselves from outside of ourselves. So we have to have that vision of what's really unfolding. here. So if I'm immersed in this severe depression, I'm not really taking a look at the bigger picture of things. Or if I'm immersed in a stuck frame of mind, I can't really see from a bigger picture point of view the truth or totality of what is. The balance comes in from really balancing one's energy through thoughts, energy through actions, their internal energy. Let's balance that and get it stable and really balanced and clear so that we can then transform it and emerge it into a more exalted state of being that's always there, but we tend to keep it down, and we tend not to transcend it into its higher states of being, where ultimately it really wants to go. It's wanting to be released into this beautiful emergence out into the open.
Now, your website describes you as a natural intuitive, a clairaudient, and an open channel. As well as, I couldn't help but notice, and I smile at this, spiritual muse. And so what I wanted to ask, Danyele, how do these gifts come together in working with your client as a natural intuitive, clairaudient, open channel, and spiritual muse?
The work that I like to do is primarily personal development work. So personal development, everyone can understand what that is. But when I take it to my higher guidance, I invite people to really get in touch with their higher guidance. And that's a connected knowing. It's an inner wisdom that just comes through. And we all have this. We all are this already. So sometimes the doorway will be, oh, it's just personal development. Okay, I can do that. But if you throw too much out there, like, oh no, I have to, get my channel my higher guidance. What is that? That sounds really frightening, or some people don't know what that is exactly. It's scary to them, or they'll put in their beliefs like, oh, I don't have a belief of this. And yet we really all are this already. So I invite people to get in touch with their own inner divinity that's already there, and that emerges for their betterment and their desires. And then they can shift and transform themselves without having to say, oh, it's Danyele's psychic gift, so I have to go back to her and ask her about my future or anything like this. No, that's not what it is at all. We all have this divine guidance that pours through us, and it's always right. It's always loving. It's always uplifting. It's always consistent. It's always for the betterment of themselves and for the greater good of all. It always makes the right choices. It is just on. And when it's on, you just watch magic unfold every moment of your life, and you can feel it, and your health reflects that, and your external world reflects that, and those you interact with, it reflects that. It's so exciting. And so I love to invite people to get in touch with that those who don't even know that that's there, that I just give a little poke, like, just a little poke here and there, and I hope that they take a look internally to find that little spark. And through that it grows.
Now, these little pokes, to use your word, that you offer to clients, what can they expect, Danyele, if they reached out to you? What would working with you look and feel like?
It's always different. It's always different with each client, depending on where they're at. It's always fun. It's never something that they don't usually expect. They might have an idea in their mind, oh, it should look like this, and this. I find it never looks like A, B, and C. It never looks like that. Yeah, I kind of take it from where they're at, and we go from there. So I let them direct the flow of it. But I try to get them to see, oh, this is what I wanted, and this is how I thought I was going to get there, and this is how I thought Danyele was going to direct me there by doing A, B, and C, and just by coincidence, I don't know, I don't guide it. It's all divinely guided. So it never tends to go the way that they think that it's going to go, but it's always a delightful surprise. And sometimes it's challenging, sometimes it can be frustrating a bit, but it's always a delightful surprise, and it's often a bit revelatory. That new perspective. Oh, okay, I can see that, and that's really exciting to me when you can connect with someone and give them an alternative perspective, and that shift that's made. Oh, I had no idea that it was only, it wasn't just choice A or B, but it was choice A through Z plus more if I wanted. And that's really, really exciting. And I think it gives them more power that way.
Mm-hmm.
If they start to understand their own power in these choices and these shifts that they can make. And they see, that they really have more choice in the whole matter of life and what they've created and what they want to create.
Now, speaking of choices, could a person choose to meet with you in person, via Skype, like we're using today, other means? How can they work with you?
I work with people if they're locally in my area, one-on-one, or I work with people on Skype, or even Google Hangouts works. But Skype is easy to use, and I enjoy that.
Good. And Danyele, if people wanted to reach out to you and get in touch with you, can they do so via email, via website? How can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me via my website, which is DeWolf.com.
Okay.
Or through my email at DanyeleDeWolf@gmail.com.
Perfect. We'll make sure that's in the scrolling credits at the end.
Thank you.
Danyele, thank you for spending this time with me.
Thank you, Rob. It was so much fun.
Thanks for being there for the people who reach out to you.
Thank you. I enjoyed that.
Bye-bye.